Now I'm going to be tying a Coq de Leon Grannom. Basically, this is probably close to the original way the Coq de Leon flies or Caddis flies were tied. Basically, the Coq de Leon Hackle fibres were used for wings in Caddis. They're used obviously a lot for tails, but the originally was for small Caddis. Now I'm going to be tying a Grannom version. Now, thread I'm going to be using to basically give the impression of the egg sac. I'm going to use this fluorescent. This is Chartreuse thread. It's 80 thread. I'm just going to basically put an aiming point at the back for that egg sac. Now it's usually quite a darker green this, but the Chartreuse works. It does really lifts it catches their eye. So anyway, what I'm going to do is wax the thread, start at the eye. I'm going to come down, remove the waste. I'm going to run it to the back of the hook. Now I'm going to build up an egg sac of thread, if you want to call it. You could use dubbing, use foam. I'm just giving just the thread at the back. Just build up. Then I'm going to take the thread, basically, and leave at least the thorax length away from the eye, which is there. Now I'm going to be using, this is some fox squirrel. You can see here it's got a bit of grey in the base. I'm going to use the dubbing from that for the body. The Caddis body is not tapered like a mayfly, I do know that. But the base, this is one of the ways to get that more Caddis-like shape, is to wind down and come back up. So I'm going to wind this down. So I get a wee bit heavier at the back. It's much easier to do it this way if you want that sort of thickness at the back, and then taper towards the thorax, rather than getting thicker like you would do if it was a mayfly. A wee bit tiny more dubbing, I've run out. Just going to go back a couple of turns, put some more on. Just checking it. There we go, it's a wee bit better. Then taper it slightly towards where I'm going to be tying the wing on, which is there. Just going to stroke back these fibres. Just run the wax through. And now I'm going to be using light Pardo. Now the original feathers, they come from Spain, certain region in Spain, and the tyers are very proud of their patterns and their style, and I totally understand that. The whiting is like basically a copy, a modern of these feathers. It's a very good copy, and it does work. So, but the originals are the best. Like, so, I've already tied one of the flies. I'm going to tie with the other side. I'm just going to bring the fibre straight out, so the tips line up. Now I'm tying this in. Now I'm just going to roll it within my fingers to open these fibres out. Now you could put horns on the fly, it's up to yourself. I'll put horns on just to show you, because it does add, I like the horns. Length, you're looking a wing length. I'm just pinching my fingers together here. So there's the ends there, at least the length of the hook. So when you tie it on there, it's slightly over the back. So when you hold the wing, wax my thread, catch this on the top, 2 or 3 turns just to get it caught. I want to spread the fibre. So I'm just tapping it with my nail on top to open the fibres out. A wee bit more Caddis-like wing. When you're happy with the shape, we can tighten up. And the length, just check the length if you're happy with the length. It's an amazing fibre this, it catches the light, no idea. And it floats the fly, it keeps it up, trim away the waste. Tighten. Now I'm going to change my thread to a different colour, more to suit the Caddis. So just going to darken it down, I'm just going to use the black. Remove the Chartreuse, which was basically I put it on to use for the egg sac at the back. Got the horns on, so I'm just going to go back to the cotyledon. I'm going to use 4 of the large fibres. I know there's only 2 horns, but they're really fine. Plus having an extra couple not do any harm. Keeps the fly up as well. So tie on top, trim away the waist, wind up to the wing. Now I've got this way, this is a small, it's basically it's a wee cheap cape, coat cape, and it was a sort of Grizzle, and I've dyed it grey to get more colour to suit. So you don't get many turns out of these hackles, so basically I'm going to tie on as close to the bottom as I can. So I've got the stem, I'm going to bare the stem and leave enough to tie it on. Secure it in. Now I'm going to put a tiny bit of dubbing. Same dubbing I used in the body on the thorax. It helps control and colour the thorax obviously, but it helps control the hackle. Basically winding onto a cushion, and it just turns it right, but it adds the colour as well. So there's your thorax. I bring my thread to the front and then wind my hackle through it. And the turn at the top, just wind. You see how easy it just controls the hackle as you wind through it. You're only going to get so much, so we'll be catching the hackle at the front with 2 or 3 turns. Take away the hackle pliers. I'm going to fold it back, add a wee bit of strength. Now I'm going to leave it, just going to varnish off. One, two, three. Just got that fibre there. Trim away my thread. The hackle point here, just break it off. And there we are. And that's well, another name for it is a green tail. It's a simple wee dressing. It's not. It's just tied with the materials you have. It's tied with the. There's no. It's just a cheap. It's a nondescript cape, really, a wee kind of grizzly type thing. It's ideal. I've tied quite a few flies with it, so it's ideal for your own flies. And you can see the light Pardo gives a great impression of the wing. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. It's another nice wee pattern for your box, especially in the river. And we're working the locks this as well, so I hope you enjoyed that.